Welcome to INFS 321 Information Sources. In session 7, we'll be looking at geographical sources. Geographical sources fall under the source types, and with the geographical sources, we have ended all the description of source types. Remember, in earlier sessions, we looked at fact sources, we've looked at biographical sources, we've looked at encyclopedias and dictionaries, and now is the turn of geographical sources. In this session, we'll explain what geographical sources are and state the different types. We'll also indicate the uses and characteristics of geographical sources. So what are geographical sources? Geographical sources help us to locate places. Now, when we talk about locational or location of places, we have three main categories of locations. We locate current events. We also locate for recreational purposes. We also locate for businesses. Now, current events. Maybe there's an earthquake in a particular country. You don't know that particular country. So you use a geographical source to find out where that earthquake has occurred. For recreational purposes, maybe you are tired, you're taking some 2 days leave or 2 weeks leave, you need to go out and de-stress. So you use a geographical source to find out any place of your choice. Would you want to go to a park? Would you want to go to a castle? These are all recreational places, and we get geographical sources to give us the information. Or for business information. For instance, you found a partner on the internet who works in China, and you want to do some business with that person. You don't know where China is. You don't know much about China. You use a geographical source to find out about everything about China, the weather and how to get there, the conditions there. It's the geographical source which will help you find information about your business location. Let's look at types of geographical sources. So I'll put these in three large categories. One category being the maps, atlases, and globe. The other category being the gazetteers, and the other one, the last type, being the guidebooks. I believe you all know what maps are and atlases are, and even globe. And you know maps are representation of the boundaries of the earth. And cartographers produce the maps. The challenge about maps in libraries is that they present storage spaces. Because they are large, you may not find them in the regular section of any library. So in a library, typical library, you'll find the maps in special locations, and you need to ask where the maps are. Nevertheless, there are certain geographical sources which are readily available on the reference shelf in the library, such as atlases. They are smaller. So they consist of a collection of maps. We have three types of atlases: the current, historical, and thematic atlases. Then we have the globe, which is the spherical representation of the earth. So let's go to the other category of geographical sources, which are the gazetteers. The gazetteers are a geographical dictionary of places arranged alphabetically. Every atlas has a gazetteer. So at the end of the atlas, we have a list of names arranged alphabetically, making reference to the contents of the atlas. Now, when the geographical dictionary stands alone, we call that a gazetteer. This is different from the Gazette. The Gazette is a publication of references or discussions held in any parliamentary session. But this is a gazetteer. So we have two types of gazetteers, locational and descriptive. The locational gazetteer provides information precisely locating the features either by the atlas page or the index or the longitude or the Earth's surface. Then the descriptive gazetteer gives you detailed information about that particular location that it has mentioned. So for instance, you can have a descriptive location about Ghana. It will give us brief history about Ghana, about the commodities Ghana produce, about the population of Ghana, about the altitude of Ghana. So it will give you not only the locational information, but it will also give you a descriptive information. So descriptive gazetteers are detailed and they contain useful information if you are doing any research. Now, the next category of geographical sources will be travel guides. Travel guides are handbooks for travelers that give information about the city, the region, the country, the museum. And they are to inform the traveler about what to see, where to stay, where to dine, and even how to get there. A popular travel guide in Ghana is the Bratz Travel Guide Ghana. Indeed, Bratz has several travel guides, but I will advise you to look at the Bratz Travel Guide Ghana and see the number of places that we can find to visit. Many of us do not know Ghana. So this particular travel guide will help us to locate the different places, the different mountains, the different castles, the different parks in Ghana. Now, what are the selection and evaluation criteria of geographical sources? Here, you will need to again look at the needs of your community and the cost of the geographical sources. You need to consider the storage requirements of these geographical sources. As I mentioned, maps are very difficult to store in libraries, and they need special rooms to store them. Now, for selection and evaluation criteria of geographical sources, there are two unique criteria, very different from the ASTAFs that I gave you in session 3. Now, in addition to the ASTAFs, you will need to use these two, which I'm going to describe, for selecting and evaluating geographical materials. Number one, scale and projection. Maps, atlases are drawn to scale and even projection, yes. The scale is the ratio of a distance on the map to the actual distance in the real world on the face of the earth. So when you are drawing a map, you cannot use the actual size. You have to use a scale. Either 1 inch is to so many miles or kilometers, or a ratio. 1 is to thousands and several, 1 is to something, okay? Maybe 253,000 miles or kilometers or whatever. So the larger the scale, so if you have a large scale map, you have maybe 1 is to 1,000 or larger. Medium scale maps are between 1 is to 1,000 and 1 is to, and the smaller scale maps are between 1 is to 10,000 or 1 million, etc., etc. Now, maps are also drawn to a projection. When you talk of projection, it's the method used to display the surface of a sphere so that you don't have undue distortion. If you don't do the proper projection, you'll see that a map is distorted. So one unique criterion for selecting and evaluating geographical sources is scale and projection. The other unique criterion is color and symbols. You would realize that there are many colors and symbols used in maps and atlases. Colors are used in maps to show political boundaries, and they're also used to show standard types of information, used to show heights, ocean depths, gradients on thematic maps. Symbols also allowed to communicate information to the reader. So if you see, for instance, a diamond symbol on an atlas or in a map, it shows that maybe diamond is in abundance in a particular location. If you see H, maybe it represents that a hospital is in a particular location. So apart from these two criteria, you have other criteria which we know of that you have to use. The publisher, that means the authority, the indexing, and then the currency. Because depending on the currency, you would have a current map or a retrospective map. We also have maps in electronic option. And these days, the one important electronic option is the Google Map. And many organizations are using it. In fact, you can use the Google Earth to be able to locate exactly where you live. And it is also a very important source for real estate agents. They use that to be able to locate exactly your plot of land which they have given to you. So you are able to determine whether you like your neighbors or you don't like your neighbors. Now, for important general sources which you will have to look at is the Colombian Gazetteer of the World. So please visit any library of your choice and look at that particular resource. It's a geographical resource, and follow the steps outlined in the study guide to be able to examine this particular resource. Let me conclude by saying that all the sources that I have mentioned that you need to visit a library to consult are very important. You will need to consult them and have a photographic memory of the contents of those sources, because you'll be examined on each of the sources mentioned in these sessions. I want to thank you for your patience and for your attention. I hope you have enjoyed the session on geographical sources. Thank you.